Here are the 15 best survival games that you need to play in 2025. At number 15, we have Astroneer, developed by System Era Softworks. It's a game by a small indie company where you play as an astronaut who went through rigorous training to explore the frontiers of outer space for the good of all humankind. Astroneers are trained to use the terrain tool, a powerful instrument which can dig, collect, shape, build, and color terrain in any way they wish. Build custom bases throughout the solar system to survive and thrive anywhere. Objects are snapped into place in a modular system that allows astroneers to create unique builds. Automation systems, crafting stations, power plants, resource harvesters, and railway facilities are built from the ground up and can be customized to suit any situation. The game has 7 different biomes which they like to call celestial bodies. Each of those biomes can be explored from the surface to the core. Each biome contains some strange structures and artifacts which grants great loot if you choose to explore them. The game will feature up to 4-player co-op mode so you can team up with your friends in a fun little adventure. At number 14, we have The Long Dark, developed by Hinterland Studio. It's a very unique game. Due to a geomagnetic disaster, all the lights are out and it's up to you to survive the harsh cold environment. As the game puts it, there are no zombies, only you, the cold, and all the threats Mother Nature can muster. This game was in development for a long time and was released to the public as open beta for a while. Now they have completed it and people really seem to love it. In their website and Steam, they say that Wired magazine called it the pinnacle of an entire genre. It's a hardcore survival game where depth means all progress you make is lost forever. You would need to hunt, fish, and build traps to survive the harsh climate, find weapons to fend off dangerous wildlife, and stay warm to not catch hypothermia. There are a lot of different elements in this game, and for the gamers who love hardcore stuff, this one should be the perfect one for you. The map is big with 50 plus square kilometers of explorable area containing 12 major regions and many smaller zones which connect each of them. At number 13, we have Planet Crafter, developed by Miju Games. It has overwhelmingly positive review on Steam and it's easy to see why. It's a space survival open world terraforming crafting game designed for 1 to 10 players. You are sent on a hostile planet with one mission: make it habitable for humans. You'll have to survive, collect resources, build your base, produce machines to heat the planet, create an oxygen-rich atmosphere, and eventually geoengineer an entire planet. It's a really chill game, and if you are like me who enjoys a little peacetime after a full day of work, this game is a great one to pass the time. You will build your headquarters on the planet, which will act as the base of operation. There you will be able to craft different tools to heat up the planet and generate oxygen, which will eventually lead to growing new plants, and finally you will be able to terraform the once deserted planet into a lush green paradise that you can call home. Like many other survival games, you will have the difficulty sliders as well as other options to make the game as easy or as hard as you want. You can play with friends or chill alone on a new planet, building it up as you please. At number 12, we have Smalland, Survive the Wilds, developed by Merge Games. This is the premise of the story. Before the time of the giants, we lived freely under the sun and moon. Centuries have passed, but the stories of the surface world have been passed down through generations. Now the giants are gone and you, Vanguard, must venture out into the wilds once more on an urgent mission. Be brave and do not falter. Something quite unique, I must say. In this game, you will enter the world of giants where everything is huge and you are the size of an ant. Puddles will feel like rivers and grass would feel like trees. In this world, you will need to do the basics of every survival game, which is crafting gear, armors, build your base, and gather food. But here, you can tame creatures to do some of your tasks or use them as rides to travel faster. As you are really tiny in this game, even the small insects like ants and bees will see you as food, and so you will need to fend off against them. Building bases on top of trees is another fun and almost necessary aspect of the game because of the dangerous animals around. If you love games like Palworld or ARK, then this one might be for you. At number 11, we have Sunkenland, developed by Vector 3 Studio. It's a little different type of game from the rest of the ones we discussed till now. Sunkenland is a water world themed post-apocalyptic survival game, meaning the exploration and survival is mostly done underwater. There are huge skyscrapers, nuclear power plants, and large buildings has sunken down underwater and has become your scavenging ground where you would need to find materials and loot to build your base and keep yourself safe. The base building is modular, which means you can build anything you want as long as it's feasible and can decorate it however you want. You can build a floating base, a base inside a ship, or a base on an island overlooking the vast ocean. Building a beautiful home is not enough. You would also need to reinforce it with defenses like barbed wires or mounted guns to protect it from various dangers lurking around. Mutants, pirates, and even the undead are some of the enemies that you will face on your journey. As the ocean is vast, you can build and upgrade vehicles as well, like a jet ski or even an helicopter. This game also features co-op mode, so you can lay waste to the monsters together with your friends. The best way to describe this is it's a mixture of both Rust and Raft. At number 10, we have Frostpunk 2, developed by 11-bit Studios. It's a city building survival game where you need to keep building and expanding your city in order to survive the harsh cold. 30 years have passed since an apocalyptic blizzard ravaged the earth, but the never-ending winter is not your only problem. You are the leader of the settlement and you would have to make tough decisions to keep the people in check and prevent them from rioting and destroying everything. There will be various factions with different problems and you would need to solve them the way you want. But these decisions will have consequences. Apart from these problems, you would also need resources, and a lot of them, to keep your ever-growing metropolis running. You will also need to maintain balance of different zones in your metropolis, like the housing and the extraction zones. The devs also made it easier for modders to mod the game and add new maps and stuff to keep the game interesting. A decision I think is the best way to go forward. At number 9, we have DayZ, developed by Bohemia Interactive. We can't go too far without having a zombie survivor game, can we? It has 2 locations, Chernaris, the classic map, which is very big and is filled with zombies, and a denser Livonia, which is the newer map where hardcore players can find their skills tested. Their 60-player co-op mode is very intense because you can be betrayed and killed over a can of beans. While that may not happen regularly, you can team up with people to survive and build bases. While zombies are the most immediate threat, there are other dangers lurking around like wolf packs and frenzied bears, and many other animals. Also, you will need to keep an eye on the basic stats like hunger and temperature in order to survive. You can loot the large abandoned sites and cities, but be careful as you will need to have a hazard suit in order to travel and stay out for long durations. As I said earlier, PvP fights can occur anywhere and especially where there is great loot like the military bases, so you have to watch out for them. There is good support for modding as well, and you can find hundreds of different maps that the community created and join them with Steam Workshop maps. At number 8, we have Grounded, developed by Obsidian Entertainment. It has the same concept as that of Smalland, where you play as a shrunken character becoming the size of an ant and you have to survive the environment where even the grass looks like giant trees. While it sounds interesting, you do become a target of even the smallest creatures. Ants, bees, and insects are now your enemies and you have to survive in order to stay alive. There is a good enough story as well where you find out how you became so small. You can play with up to 3 friends in this adventure on a shared world where the host does not need to be online for the others to play. The different places in the backyard becomes different zones for the game. The pool becomes the lake and the sandpit becomes a desert-like place, and each of these zones contain different animals you have to defeat, sneak around or lure to other places. But be careful, as the more you displace the insects, the more they are to come knocking at your own door. You can upgrade your armor and have different abilities as well, and as you progress through the game, you do become very powerful. At number 7, we have Valheim, developed by Gate AB. Valheim is a survival game for 1 to 10 players set in a procedurally generated world inspired by Norse mythology. Explore a world shrouded in mystery. Discover distinct environments with unique enemies to battle, resources to gather, and secrets to uncover. Be a Viking, sail the open seas in search of lands unknown, and fight bloodthirsty monsters. Raise Viking longhouses and build bases. Customize buildings both inside and out with a detailed building system system. Progress through building tiers to upgrade, expand, and defend your base. Now all of these features are pretty basic for a survival game, but a Viking setting in a relaxing environment is pretty fun, and building your own village and an empire seems pretty good. Also, you can team up with up to 9 other members and have a really good time ahead. This has a very positive review on Steam and has won multiple awards for being one of the best indie games to come out in 2021. At least that's what they show on their page. This is a kind of game where you can AFK your mind, listen to some podcast or music while playing it. I had a fun time and you can give this one a try too. At number 6, we have Enshrouded, developed by Keen Games. Enshrouded is a game of survival, crafting, and action RPG combat set within a sprawling voxel-based continent. The combat in this game is what pulled me in and I was very impressed. You can wield a bow, use powerful spells, and do massive damage with a sword. The choices are endless. Well, those are pretty much all the choices, but you get my point. The team did a good job at world building too. It looks gorgeous. While the rest of the game is pretty straightforward, like crafting materials and essential items like armors, clothing, bases, and stuff like that, you can do that alone or with up to 16 members in a server. You will build not only for yourself, but even NPCs will take refuge within your walls, unlocking advanced workshops and the ability to craft epic armors and weapons. Journey through the biomes of Embervale to immerse yourself in vibrant fallen cultures and ancient myths, from the mystical desert of the Kindlewests to the dark canopies of the Revelwood. At number 5, we have Subnautica, developed by Unknown Worlds Entertainment. Subnautica is an underwater adventure game set on an alien ocean planet. You have crash landed on an alien world and the only way to go is down. Subnautica's ocean range from sun-drenched shallow coral reefs to treacherous deep-sea trenches, lava fields, and bioluminescent underwater rivers. Manage your oxygen supply as you explore kelp forests, plateaus, reefs, and winding cave systems. The water teems with life, some of it helpful, much of it is harmful. While at first I thought this was a pretty relaxing game, when I explored deep into the ocean, I found out that this is a horror game instead. I will not spoil you, but just know that be prepared before exploring down there. After crash landing in your life pod, the clock is ticking to find water, food, and to develop the equipment you need to explore. Collect resources from the ocean around you, craft diving gear, lights, habitat modules, and submersibles. Venture deeper and farther to find rarer resources, allowing you to craft more advanced items. This game is very fun and I have spent hundreds of hours exploring the deep sea and I'm sure you will love it as well. At number 4, we have Aloft, developed by Astroneer Interactive. This is one of the newest games on this list and I had a pretty good time playing it so far. I may have been biased giving it number 4 slot on this list because I have played this game recently, but regardless of the position, I love the game and many people on Steam would agree with me. It's a game about floating islands, which you can make one for yourself. If I'm not wrong, any island can become a floating island as long as some requirements are met. The sky provides everything you need. Cook up delicious meals for buffs, gather resources to craft tools, and explore to find new technology. Soar the open sky freely and discover ancient ruins to uncover the secrets of the past. With a helm, rudder, and sails constructed, you are ready to sail the winds and explore the skies. You are the captain of your adventure. Find and cure islands from corruption by defeating the mushroom creatures in combat. Craft antidotes to save animals and restore islands to a state of harmony. By restoring their biodiversity, you gain access to new special resources and make them more resistant to corruption. This game came out in January this year and it is quite a unique experience where the devs tried out something new and I seem to like it. At number 3, we have No Man's Sky, developed by Hello Games. This game came out in a pretty rough state. The devs promised way too much and delivered way too little, and because of that, I feel like this game couldn't become the next big thing in the genre. While there are a ton of people still playing it, the bad taste it left in launch hindered its success. But the devs did work hard on improving it, and if you played this game right now, you will find that this is one of the best looking and great feeling games out there. No Man's Sky presents you with a galaxy to explore, filled with unique planets and life forms, and constant danger and action. In No Man's Sky, every star is the light of a distant sun, each orbited by planets filled with life, and you can go to any of them you choose. Fly smoothly from deep space to planetary surface with no loading screens and no limits. In this infinite procedurally generated universe, you'll discover places and creatures that no other players have seen before, and perhaps never will. Every other player lives in the same galaxy, and you can choose to share your discoveries with them on a map that spans known space. The game still gets updates and patches, and they really want to make this game the best they can. They are, however, making a new game which is set to release next year. They do promise to keep No Man's Sky running as smoothly as possible, at least till that game comes out. At number 2, we have Sons of the Forest, developed by Night Games. It is the sequel to the very famous game The Forest. Sent to find a missing billionaire on a remote island, you find yourself in a cannibal-infested hellscape. Experience complete freedom to tackle the world how you want. You decide what to do, where to go, and how best to survive. There are no NPCs barking orders at you or giving you missions you don't want to do. You give the orders, you choose what happens next. If you have high-end hardware, this game looks really amazing. The level of details is something not many survival games give too much thought on, but with Sons of the Forest, they already had a good enough base with the forest that they could look into other details more closely. The violent creatures and the gore that's in this game makes it not for everyone and not even for the faint of hearts, but for those who love hardcore gaming, you have to try this one out. Enter a world where nowhere is safe and fight against a range of mutated creatures, some who are almost human-like and others who are nothing like you have ever seen before. Armed with pistols, axes, stun batons, and more, protect yourself and those you care for. And finally, at number 1, we have ARK Survival Ascended, developed by Studio Wildcard. This is my personal favorite survival game. It might be because of the many mods and maps there are for this game, but I still sometimes boot up this game and have a great time. The idea of living and taming dinosaurs to make them your workers or your army was quite unique, and many newer games have taken so much inspiration from this game. For example, Palworld. The game itself has mixed reviews because it's very buggy. Dinos falling off the map, inventory bugs, and so many other things that people sometimes hate the game for it. Regardless, when you look at the core gameplay, it is really quite unique and fun. Spawning at an island with nothing to your name, you have to gather materials, learn new techs to build and craft armor, structures, houses, and crafting benches. Make weapons and tranquilizers to tame the dinosaurs, because without them, you will get one-shot by many of the dangerous species out there, even if you have the highest grade of armor. And with different mods, this game never gets boring. So these were the best survival games to play in 2025. Let me know which ones are your favorite. If I missed some or if you think the list is wrong, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, hit the like and subscribe button. YouTube thinks you might like this video popping up on your screen right now, so you can watch that one as well. See you in the next one.